Bienvenido a Café Espacial, con la conducción del Dr. Fermín Romero Vázquez. Análisis con líderes expertos e influencers del futuro de las agencias espaciales globales. Exploración espacial y potencial expansión de la raza humana en el universo. Opinión en los ámbitos más prometedores del sector espacial por parte de sus protagonistas en gobierno, industria y servicios. Academias y ONG. Beneficios de la ciencia y tecnología espacial para toda la sociedad. Desde tierra firme es momento de un café. Café Espacial.
Hello, my dear friends. Welcome again to this Café Espacial series on the episode 11. We're very happy to have in this opportunity a good friend. He's Dr. Antonio Ragusa. And just to know a little bit about him, let's read his bio, a short bio. Antonio Ragusa is an entrepreneur, professor, and author. Who founded Space Economy Institute, the RAM Business School Nigeria, and Purity International. He graduated cum laude in law and qualified as lawyer, and then earned a master's in business administration from the London Imperial College Business School, specializing further in marketing and communications at the London School of Economics. He's the author of numerous publications on the topics related to management, organizational communication, education, marketing, and human resources management. Antonio Ragusa has won several international awards for his educational and entrepreneurial activities. Among these others, he has received the New York Summit Award, the 2018, the Emilio Castelar Award 2019, the Jean-Baptiste Say Award 2020, the Alia Society Award 2021, the Ubuntu 2021 Award by the Euro-African Forum, and the Top Innovation Leader Award 2022 by Red Business Market and Diario de Empresa. Welcome, my dear Antonio. It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you so much, Fermín. Thanks a lot for the kind invitation, and hello to all our audience. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, to introduce this talk, which we call the Space Institute in the New Space Era, let's say that the Space Economy Institute is the world's leading knowledge center in the space economy sector, and it offers an integrated set of services related to training, consulting, search, information, and events, aimed at helping the humankind to seize the opportunities related to the space economy. So let's start with this conversation, my dear Antonio. First of all, please explain us what is the origin and what inspired the creation of the Space Economy Institute, and what are the main goals and objectives, please?
Absolutely. So the Space Economy Institute was born based on the analysis of a very important circumstance that you all know for sure, and the fact that the space economy is growing exponentially in a global perspective, at the global scale. So it's not simply focused on the United States of America or Russia, but there's a democratization of this sector. But the tricky thing is that this sector is not so well known from the wide audience, the global audience. And above all, there's a lack of education and training dedicated to this specific sector. So there's a lot already regarding technical training, regarding engineering, technological aspects, but not so much regarding the specific skills, competencies to work as space economist, so being a manager, entrepreneur of the space economy. So we decided to create these organizations that want to be a knowledge hub dedicated to create more awareness regarding the space economy, and also specifically training the new managers, the new entrepreneurs, and the new leaders of the space economy, offering, like you were mentioning, an integrated set of services. So not simply training, but also consulting, research, information, and events to help basically humanity seize space-related opportunities. The goal is also to contribute to have a positive impact on the global development of this very important sector that can offer a lot of opportunities also for employment of newly graduates, of young professionals, and also to contribute to influence positively international policies, fostering collaborations, and in general contributing to the growth of the global space economy.
That sounds great. So it means you have the capacity to help or to advise governments, enterprises, and to build projects and programs. Yes?
Yeah, I mean, at least we want to offer our contribution and to play a role in this direction, because once again, it's an incredible opportunity of growth, of development of the humankind, opportunities also of social development, also of international diplomacy and cooperation. So there's a lot to do, there's a lot to learn and know, and we want to offer our contribution to boost the humanity towards this direction with a specific focus on the space economy that goes beyond the technology, the innovation, the engineering side, and offers those other perspectives, because there's a lot of knowledge already regarding the technical expertise, but many of the people working already in the space economy lack the competencies related more to the managerial side. And many other people want to enter the space economy for the very first time, and they need to have a specific guidance and support in that path. And we are here to give our contribution to do so. Obviously, it's a huge and global market, a global sector, and there's the need to have a joint cooperation of many stakeholders to make it grow. But for sure, having created a vertical knowledge hub in this sector, we think can give a little bit additional contribution.
Right. The Institute's website show important areas such as training, consulting, research, information, and events. Could you please expand on these programs and subjects, please?
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, the Space Economy Institute offers training. So exclusive programs like the Master in Space Economy, which is a dedicated one-year program to provide the attendants with all the skills, knowledge, and competencies to be the leaders of the new space economy, but also workshops and courses tailored to different aspects of the space economy, such as also the space law or the specific applications of the space economy to several industries of the space economy for agriculture, healthcare, fintech, and so on. In addition, what we offer is consulting, so expert consulting services for organizations in space economy, policy development, and commercial strategy. What we do is also research, which is obviously combined to the training and educational effort. So what we do is focus research on upstream and downstream segments, economic impact, sustainability also, which is a very important topic in the space economy, and innovation. Another pillar of our services, of our offer, Fermín, is the information. So we want to be a hub for the latest developments, trends, and insight in the space economy. What you do is fantastic in spreading the awareness and knowledge of the space economy. We want to also give our contribution and to cooperate with organizations like yours, Fermín, that is doing an amazing job in this direction.
Thank you.
Another thing that we do is to organize events dedicated to the sector, to the industry. So we organize conferences, seminars, networking events to foster collaboration and knowledge sharing. And just to mention one of the next activities, we're going to organize a space economy summit. with an international perspective, so inviting speakers and experts from all the continents and latitudes, because you know better than me that the space economy is not simply two countries, but it's a global movement nowadays. So we have already many also African, for example, countries operating in the space economy. So we want to gather all these initiatives, best practices, and perspectives on the space economy, and to create a very important networking opportunity for all the people operating or interested in the space economy. So, as mentioned, an integrated set of services to help people, the humankind, the managers, professionals, entrepreneurs, to learn, know, and grow in the space economy.
Right. And following on this, in what ways does the Space Economy Institute will collaborate with the governmental agencies, private companies, and international organizations to advance in the mission of the Institute? And particularly talking, you have talked about Africa, for example, but what about Latin America, for example?
Exactly. No, thanks a lot, Fermín, for the very important question. So obviously, in order to have an impact on a sector, on an industry, you cannot be alone, you cannot play your role individually, but you need to be connected and to interact with all the stakeholders operating in the sector and having an influence in the sector. So we cooperate and we interact with governmental agencies, trying to influence positively policy, to create joint research and educational initiatives. We mentioned Africa. For example, there are also space agencies in many African countries. For example, we also have a presence in Nigeria, where there's a specific national agency that is moving the first important steps. So we are connected also with these governmental agencies, and also to develop better our mission and our activity. Obviously, we're also connected a lot with private companies, with which we collaborate on research and development projects, consulting, and also we also give them the possibility to interact with the students of the Space Economy Institute that can work specifically with their capstone project on challenges, on projects proposed by the companies, that in this way can have a kind of little and free consulting activity from our students led by a professor. We also deal with international organizations in order to share best practices and once again contribute to international space standards and regulations. I'm particularly happy to connect with you, Fermín, and with Café Espacial in Mexico, because it's another very important area of development in general, Latin America. We want to be even more linked with you and to do things together, because once again, it's a booming sector in industry, and so connecting the dots and joining our strengths can absolutely contribute to make it bigger, stronger, and growing at a faster pace and rate.
Well, let me tell you also, I am the president of Approaching the Universe Foundation, in Spanish, Fundación Acercándote al Universo, and it is another opportunity to collaborate. Feel free to propose projects, because we are very busy promoting the space sectors in not only in Mexico, in the whole Latin America.
That's marvelous, and congratulations once again for what you are doing, Fermín.
Thank you so much. Well, let's continue. Regarding the upstream and downstream segments, how does the Space Economy Institute envision contributing with the development and growth of the global space industry?
Yeah, first of all, being a knowledge hub and think tank, we work on the economic analysis of both the segments of the space economy, upstream and downstream, in order to assess in a scientific way the economic value, the growth potential, and also all the investment opportunities in both segments. We all know that there are a lot of funding opportunities, new investment funds that are being created with a specific focus on the space economy. So we also work to support these initiatives and to make them very well known. About specifically the upstream segment, what we do is to make research and also education in order to provide detailed insights into space infrastructure, satellites, exploration, and potential projects and technologies that are also being constantly updated and developed. About the downstream segment, we are here to explore all the real-world applications of space data, not only weather forecasting, telecommunication, and transportation, but also more updated things regarding risk management, activities regarding fintech, insurances, and obviously agriculture, and also healthcare. But basically, we know that the space economy is having a very important and positive impact on all the economic activities that the humankind is carrying out. So we want to study and bring to the world the data, the information about these incredible developments that still are not so well known. And so, like you're doing, we want to contribute to this better knowledge and better exploitation of the opportunities created by this booming sector.
And I think also in the field of consulting, the space is also have capacities to advise on subjects such as geopolitical issues, right?
Yeah, geopolitical issue is a very important perspective regarding the space economy. And I also want to say that historically, the space has been an area of very important international cooperation, international diplomacy. So an area, I would say, of creation of peace and of positive interaction between different countries and different cultures. So at the Space Economy Institute, we want to foster and support this type of approach to the space economy that can be, in some way, a new way to approach the economy, the social and economic activities, more based on cooperation rather than competition, to make it, once again, a source of development of the human being. We know that it's not easy because in some cases there are tensions between different countries. There's a race in order to be the first to do something. But we want to foster a cultural approach that is more based, as mentioned, on cooperation, of creating joint ventures rather than competitive approaches.
Right. To be more precise on these issues that you will deal with this institute, this new institute, what specific research areas does the Space Economy Institute focus on to analyze and promote the economic aspect of space exploration and utilization?
Yeah, so a first area of research is absolutely the economic impact analysis. So assessing correctly, scientifically, the economic value of space activities, including commercialization and tourism. There's a key issue in the space economy, which is absolutely related to correctly measuring the size and the impact of this sector. There are several approaches and methods, but we want to contribute with our perspective. Another area of research, Fermín, is policy and regulation. So we research about the legal frameworks, the international agreements, and also the ethical considerations about the space economy. An area of research that we're also interested in is the space infrastructure. So, for example, development of spaceports, satellites, and other essential infrastructure to ensure that the space economy can grow positively. Another sector is the space resource utilization. So the exploration of mining and utilization of celestial resources, asteroid mining, and so on. And last but not least, obviously, innovation and technology. We want to know more and learn more and share more knowledge regarding cutting-edge technologies like reusable rockets, space habitats, and in-orbit manufacturing. So there's a lot to study and research about the space economy, but at least these are some key areas of interest by the Space Economy Institute.
Good. In the light of the broad commercialization of space, for example, satellite technology, cislunar economy, and the future resources exploitation on the moon, the famous ISRU, in your opinion, what is the future of space exploration in the new space era? Tell us, please.
First of all, what we see at the Space Economy Institute are very important commercial and business opportunities in general. So there's an incredible growth in private space exploration, investment, business models. So there's a very positive trend that is giving birth also to many new startups. So we want to analyze this phenomenon and contribute to the knowledge and the growth. Another very important trend is the point of attention for us are the technological advancements. So the innovative technologies for the space travel, the communication and resource utilization, including also the impact of artificial intelligence and the contribution that artificial intelligence can give to the further growth of the space economy. Another point for us to be studied and to be analyzed in depth is the regulatory landscape, because it's an area where there are a lot of gaps in terms of regulation, in terms of analysis. So the evolving legal and regulatory environment is a very important aspect of study and in-depth analysis, together with the global collaboration. So we want to foster an increased international cooperation and partnerships among the countries and the players of the space economy. We think that it can be a continuing trend in the space sector, but for sure we have to monitor and control some dynamics of heavy competition that can arise. Another aspect in terms of trends and focus for the Space Economy Institute is represented by the sustainability focus. So an emphasis on responsible and sustainable practices in space collaboration and commercialization. This is very important for us because in this growing sector, it's very important that we all adopt an approach to business and to management based on ethics, on social responsibility. And so in our educational activities, in our consulting activities, we want to absolutely support and take and adopt this approach.
Yes, I can see many interesting areas, starting first with the space economy, space commerce, space law, space policy, all included in the Space Economy Institute. So I see it's a good project, but how many people will be involved or are already involved in this institute?
Well, I mean, we have several players and actors in the Space Economy Institute because, first of all, we have an international faculty of experts that contribute to our training activities. And once again, what we adopt is a global perspective. So we think that we need to give an approach to education and training in the space economy that offers students and in general attendance of our courses the best practices that are developed in all the possible countries of the world. So faculty members, then obviously we have consultants, we have experts in research, we have people that contribute to our communication and networking activities, also the organization of the events that we mentioned. So more or less, today we have 150 people actively involved in the Space Economy Institute. But what we are noticing is a growing interest in this sector in our activity. So for sure, we're destined to grow. And this opportunity of interaction, for example, with you, Fermín, and your team are very important because they create additional chances to have a positive impact on the world by
Yes.
spreading knowledge, awareness, communicating, and creating synergies that at the end create peace, create a better world and a better society.
Yes, I can understand the importance of the synergy in this important network. Thank you so much. Well, let's go to a short break, and then we will continue talking on these interesting issues.
Corazón de maguey, corazón de maguey, 1000 mentes son más de 1000 razones buenas, la tradición, el color de la luna nueva, corazón de maguey, corazón de maguey.
A que sintonices con nosotros Diálogos con Janet Eureka. Tendré la gran oportunidad de entrevistar personalidades en diferentes ámbitos, así que muy atento a nuestra multiplataforma televisiva Cabina 11 Cadena Global, a través de la señal de BB Media Televisión.
Well, friends, we are again with our special guest, Dr. Antonio Ragusa. And to continue talking on these interesting issues, my dear Antonio, please tell us, can you provide some examples of innovative projects or initiatives that the Space Economic Institute will undertake to foster space-related economic advancements?
Yeah, thanks again, Fermín. So first of all, what I would like to highlight is the fact that we have created the first international master in space economy, which is something that maybe we can discuss better later, but in general, it's a great cultural, I would say, investment and endeavor, once again, to shape the new leaders of the space economy and contribute to the development of the competencies and skills for all those managers, entrepreneurs, professionals that want to work in the space economy with real specific knowledge. Another, maybe not so innovative, but for sure relevant thing that we're doing is represented by the networking events. And so once again, I want to mention the Space Economy Global Summit that we're going to organize at the end of this year. And for sure, Fermín, I want you to be on board in this activity and to be connected and bring your valuable expertise. We are also contributing to facilitating international cooperation and partnerships to advance the shared goals in the space economy, specifically working with African countries. I'm particularly linked with Nigeria and Ethiopia for other educational initiatives. And so we want also to ensure that these countries and emerging developing countries can rapidly and quickly seize the opportunities created by the space economy. And so ensure that also with the contribution of our educational research and consulting activities, these new players and actors of the space economy can quickly find their way, quickly grow and contribute to the development of the sector. In terms of research, we are very focused on the innovative perspective to the economic analysis of the space economy, with specific researches on the economic impact of the space activities, with more integrated data and with data coming once again from many international sources. So to try to provide the most advanced knowledge regarding the measurement of the space economy. So these are the most important things that in terms of innovation we are bringing to the table. But it's a very dynamic sector and phenomenon. And for sure, new aspects, new perspectives are going to arise. As Space Economy Institute, we want to be there at the state of the art in terms of knowledge, understanding, comparison, and sharing of the knowledge to, once again, support the growth of this incredible industry, and very fascinating one.
Great. Some episodes before, or seasons, and not only episodes, some seasons before, Franz von der Dank gave us a great overview on the space tourism, particularly in terms of regulation. But how does the Space Economy Institute will address the challenge and opportunities associated with space tourism and its potential impact on the economy? Please tell us.
Well, first of all, it's true that the space tourism is a growing sector. We're seeing many developments and new initiatives also in these weeks, in these days. What the Space Economy Institute is going to do is, first of all, to work on the educational side and the awareness regarding space tourism, offering specific training and information regarding space tourism activities and all the opportunities and also challenges connected to this sector. Once again, there's a huge need of training, of educating and shaping leaders, managers, professionals that have a specific knowledge on these sectors and the managerial skills to manage them correctly. We also want to support the industry collaboration. So partnering with space tourism companies to foster innovation and responsible practices in this very interesting sector. Another perspective that we are going to work for the space tourism is the policy advocacy. So developing responsible, sustainable policies. And finally, last but not least, I would say the activities regarding research. So analyzing, once again, the economic, social, and environmental impact of the space tourism, which is for sure one of the most interesting, fascinating, growing, and attractive sector of the space economy. But for sure, like we mentioned, there are many other industries positively impacted by the space economy, but space tourism is for sure going to grow exponentially.
Very good. To continue with the importance of training, can you please explain a little bit about the Masters in Space Economy and what else educational programs or resources does the Space Economy Institute will offer to help individuals and businesses better understand the intricacies of the space economy?
Sure. So the Master in Space Economy by the Space Economy Institute is, first of all, an international program, which is taught in English with an international faculty. And that's the goal from an academic perspective to provide students with the skills and competences to be the leaders, managers, and entrepreneurs of the modern space economy, of the new space economy. So we'll basically analyze all the aspects of this sector, from the foundations, the principles, and the key, I would say, definitions of space economy, moving towards the historical development of this sector, and then delving into the analysis of all the industries positively impacted by the space economy. We'll analyze a lot of case studies with the participation of the protagonists and the players of the space economy. The approach will be very practical. The idea is to not simply give the theoretical perspectives, which are absolutely important, but also to provide skills and competencies the students can immediately implement in the space economy activities. So we'll analyze the industry, but also will provide a specific training regarding, for example, marketing or finance or accounting applied to the space economy. The program lasts 1 year. The next edition will start in October. The good thing is that also delivered online, which gives the possibility consequently to be attended by students from all the possible countries. So the territory is not a problem. We want to make something very accessible and easy to be attended. And also the schedule, the timetable is fully compatible with other professional commitments or personal commitments, once again, to make it really accessible by a wide audience. We have the best experts from many countries and many also organizations. So faculty members are people that obviously have a very good attitude and ability and expertise in training, combined with the real life experience and knowledge in the space economy. So basically, they teach what they really are able to do on a daily basis. So the faculty is international, but also the students come from many countries. Basically, all the continents are represented. And I think that also this cultural diversity of the participants is a source of value, because the different backgrounds and perspectives, once again, is a source of enrichment. I think it's the most complete and integrated program in the space economy. We are a little bit pioneers in this, like Fermín, you are a pioneer in the information regarding the space economy. So next edition starting in October. Seats are limited, so I really invite you to visit our website and to check all the information. Contact us to get additional information. So the Master in Space Economy is for sure the most important, I would say, program of our education portfolio. Say the most comprehensive. But like we were saying, Fermín, we offer also other opportunities of training, so shorter courses in terms of executive education related to specific areas of the space economy. So application of the space economy in the several sectors and industries that we mentioned, so communication, agriculture, healthcare, fintech, insurance, and so on.
Wow.
And also the space law that, you know very well, because
regulation is important. Yes.
Regulation is important, international diplomacy regarding the space economy. And what we do are also the production of other educational resources and activities, like workshops, publications, and conferences to build expertise in the space economy. One thing that I want to particularly highlight about what we do in terms of education for our students and for anyone who is close to the Space Economy Institute is that we care a lot about the career development of our students. So we offer training, we offer knowledge and education, but also we support our students with a set of career services in terms of, first of all, supporting the improvement of their CVs, training in job interviews, and also connecting our students and alumni with the corporate environment. So in order to offer them concrete opportunities or of entrance or growth in the professional environment of the space economy. And another thing that we do is that we want to foster and support the new entrepreneurs of the space economy. Like we were mentioning.
Which is great.
And it's vital because this sector today offers this opportunity, and we know startups already growing, but sometimes they need guidance, they need educational support, they need networking opportunities with experts. They also need to be connected with investment funds or other providers of financial support. So on average, at the Space Economy Institute, the 20% of our students want to be entrepreneurs, so not managers. They want to create their own startups. So we have a specific path, which is the path of entrepreneurship. And so we create training, mentorship opportunities, and once again, networking with angels, funding, venture capitalists, in order, once again, to give talented entrepreneurs the chance to grow quickly, positively, and successfully in the space economy.
I am sure all the previous experience you have in business will be very important in this great program, which seems to be very complete, as you mentioned. But tell us, it is possible to know the cost for the audience, for example?
Yeah, I mean, the master in space economy has a cost of 6,500 euros, including the added value tax. Sometimes we can also offer partial scholarships for students that maybe don't have the full financial capacity, but show passion and talent. So we also want to help students that, once again, don't have all the financial means to attend the program with some opportunities of financial support. And I mean, the tuition fee can also be paid in some installments. So we try to make it accessible to the most possible number of students, even if we also want to have a very customized approach. We want to take care of our students almost with an individual basis. So we don't want to have huge numbers. We try to have about 30 students per intake. So if the audience is interested, I warmly suggest to hurry up, because in October we're going to start the new editions.
These are very good news for the people interested in these relevant issues, because as you may know, the space economy is growing very rapidly. So it's so fast. So the growing of the commerce of the space economy. So it's very, very interesting. Well, to change a little bit on the subjects, how does the Space Economy Institute will approach sustainability and ethical considerations in the context of space resource utilization and commercial activities?
Yeah, this is a very important topic for me. So thanks for raising and bringing it to our attention. Also, in my previous educational endeavors, I've always been convinced of the fact that adopting an approach to business and management based on ethics and social responsibility is the way to be, is the way to adopt. Because in order to create businesses and manage a career that can be successful in the long term, you need to found these activities and these careers on basic values of sustainability and ethics. If you do so, you will be successful in the long term, because basically what will happen is that your focus will be on creating value for the others. If you create value for others, you're destined to succeed. And I also want to highlight the fact that profitability and ethics and sustainability consequently are very, very linked and synergetic. They are not things in contrast. So adopting this approach of social responsibility and business ethics in the space economy is very important. It's of paramount importance for us. So we adopt this approach in our educational activities. So, for example, in our Master in Space Economy, business ethics and social responsibility are part of the master's curriculum, of the syllabus. In general, we foster the adoption of ethical guidelines and standards in space exploration and commercialization. We also conduct research on social and environmental implications, because we know that also the environmental pollution in the space is a serious concern, and we need the new leaders of the space economy to be aware of this and to adopt a way and an approach to the new space economy that in some way solve these issues, these problems, and once again, doesn't replicate the mistakes of the past. So this focus on sustainability, social responsibility, ethics, I would say it's a characteristic of the Space Economy Institute. We want a new space economy that is based on ethics and social responsibility, and in this way can be a sector that represents an example for all the other industries of our world. So we think that it's important in terms of information like you're doing and education to adopt this approach and this perspective.
Yes. Well, continuing with these interesting subjects, what role does the Space Economy Institute will play in advocating for the favorable space policies and regulations to facilitate responsible and profitable space ventures?
Yeah, I think that first of all, we need to do, and what we're doing is policy research. So we are carrying out an in-depth analysis of the current policies in order also to inform the new policies development, the improvement of the policies and the regulations of the space economy. We're also working on the regulatory collaboration in order to shape regulations that can balance innovation with responsibility and profitability. Once again, these aspects are not incompatible. We think that can be absolutely synergetic and can go very well together. We also deal with advocacy and lobbying in order to actively advocate for supportive policies, regulations, and also governmental policies that can support the growth of the space economy in all the countries of the world. And once again, we do this not simply with these interactions, lobbying and advocacy, but also with education, like mentioned, with our masters and with our shorter courses.
Yes. Well, looking ahead, two questions. The first one related with the orbital economy, in the second place, the deep space economy. What is the future of the space economy for you, on your thinking, in the next two decades, for example?
I mean, what I see, but it's an opinion based on some facts and figures, is that the space economy is destined to grow even more. say, exponentially. The data that we have is that in year 2022, the global size of the global space economy was over 540 billion in US dollars. Some recent projection says that the global space economy will reach 3 trillion by 2040. So this is just a couple of figures that tell us that the importance and projections of growth of the space economy. But also let me tell you some specific information about some specific sectors. For example, the space-based broadband internet market is estimated to grow significantly by 2028, once again with millions and billions of dollars of growth. The India's space sector, so we were talking about developing countries. I mean, it's estimated that by 2040 can be worth 100 billion US dollars. So there are many numbers and indications that tell us that the space economy is destined to grow. This is the overall picture in terms of size of the space economy. But for sure, Fermín, probably we can take into consideration some specific trends. For example, the space tourism that we already mentioned is destined to grow. We have to also consider the importance of emerging new markets of the space economy, such as space-based solar power or lunar mining or asteroid mining that are arising. Another trend and another important point of attention is the space resource utilization. So we are going to see advancing technologies for mining and utilizing celestial resources. There's another point of interest and attention in this growth of the space economy, which is the global collaboration. So we hope, we think, and we want to play our small role to facilitate international cooperation in the space economy, because we want the space and the space economy to be an area of growth, of cooperation and peace. And on the other hand, for sure, we are going to monitor some challenges and risks regarding the space pollution, space debris, security concerns, and economic barriers for the growth of the space economy. So we want also to support and foster policies and regulation that can open the space economy to be even more democratic and to be an area of growth of entrepreneurial and managerial opportunities.
Yes, there are very interesting issues in terms of geopolitical trends, and in that sense, what groundbreaking developments or trends does the Space Institute, Economy Institute, anticipate within the space economy over the next decade, and how does it plan to contribute to shaping that future?
Yeah, what I see, what I expect is once again the growth in the space economy of the developing and emerging countries. So we mentioned Africa, we mentioned India, and we all know already that China is committed heavily in growing successfully in the space economy. We're also looking, obviously, at the Latin America and Fermín, where you are a protagonist. In general, what we see is growing democratization and opening of this sector that before was a little bit more elitarian and closed, so, which is a very positive development of the sector. Once again, for example, India's space economy is going to grow to 100 billion by 2040. The country's space sector is expected to account for the 9% of the global industry by 2030. So it's going to reflect a significant growth trajectory. So as Space Economy Institute, we're going to analyze, to study these phenomena, these trends, and to bring them to the wide audience as wide as possible in terms of information, communication, but above all in terms of education, consulting, and integrated activities that can make the space economy an area, a space where many more people, many more companies, organizations can be present and grow, thus contributing to the further growth of the humankind, of the global economy, with a perspective, once again, based on ethics, on social responsibility, and on sustainability.
Yes, well, economy and commerce have been the engine of the civilization. So it's very interesting to see how in this new phase, particularly in the deep space economy, we'll see many things, many interesting things. So I'll ask you, give us a final reflection, because unfortunately we are almost finishing the time, but give us a final reflection on these issues, and go ahead, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So the trends and the new opportunities of the space economy, also regarding the deep space exploration analysis, are very important, are fascinating.
Yes.
We're all attracted by what Elon Musk and SpaceX are doing, also with the idea, which is absolutely fascinating, for some is also controversial, of making the humankind a multiplanetary species.
Yeah.
For sure, it opens the mindset, it opens our minds, our vision to make the space economy something even bigger and the real protagonist of our time. So once again, what happened so far was the space economy limited to some operators, to some countries. The incredible thing, the incredible opportunity is the growth of this sector on many countries at many latitudes at an incredible speed of growth. So also the fact that thanks to the new technologies, launching satellites has become much more affordable, is opening these opportunities, is making the corporate environment more interested in the space economy, because these things are more affordable now, are cheaper. So once again, what we're going to see in the very, very near future, Fermín, is an incredible growth of this sector. And what we need to do, once again, is to ensure that there are many new people and leaders prepared with the mindset, the knowledge and competencies to add value to the sector, to bring their talent, their expertise, and to be specifically trained on how to manage, how to launch, how to develop space economy related business ventures. We are here to do it with the Space Economy Institute. And once again, let me thank you, Fermín, for this opportunity of sharing our activities. And let me also congratulate you again on what you're doing in terms of awareness, information, communication regarding this important, fascinating sector.
Thank you very much. And of course, we wish you a lot of success on this new venture. It's a great initiative. Congratulations. Really, it's my pleasure to invite you. And I hope this is not the unique opportunity. Let's talk in the near future to see how is the Institute. And of course, let's make links to collaborate together
we'll
from
do
Mexico. And thank you so much for having us with as a special guest. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Fermín. Thank you.
Let's keep in touch.
Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you very much.